News 11:30, meteorologist friends with you.
It is a cool morning, I can tell you that. Not too bad though. It's 7 degrees Canadian and 45 American. It's almost looks frosty, except it isn't. It's warmer than that. And I'm going to try and explain a little bit as to what happened to me yesterday. As some of you will have picked up on, I had a problem, as I explained in my last vlog, that I couldn't record on my camera yesterday, and neither of my batteries worked, which told me there was a bigger problem somewhere. Long story short, I went to the camera shop and of course heard that basically I need a new camera, or wait 6 weeks for them to fix mine and probably pay nearly as much as a new camera anyway. Well, with the technology the way that it is these days, you know, it's built-in obsolescence. They want you to buy the new camera, so that's what you need to do. So got the new camera home, and guess what? Had a problem with that as well. So that was not fun. So what I had to do was just give up, which I'm not known for. I really don't like giving up on things. So I gave up last night, and as you might have seen, did a very short one here with my cell phone and hoped that that would work, and it didn't work too badly at all. So now I have my other camera in the car, and it's going to go back on my way home tonight. They won't be happy, and neither am I, but such is life. And I'm not sure which camera I'm going to go for next, but certainly not the Sony, because that's 2 Sonys I've had a problem with now. So, although I must say my first Sony worked its heart out, so I can't really complain too much. So, very, very sad. Now, I had a really nice little note. Before I get to that, I did give a shout out to Manon in France for the achievement that she made last week, and it's a really important achievement. And that was to speak to her father as an adult, not as a child. That's a very difficult transition for a lot of you. And learning to do that is a skill, because all your life you've spoken to your parents as a child. And so for those viewers who understand what's involved here, you have to change your language if you're going to talk to an adult as an adult. And you don't get angry, and you don't get, well, you try not to get frustrated or anything else. You just speak to them practically. And what happens is a child, when they hear no, stomp their feet and have a tantrum. I think that's the easiest way to put it. Whereas an adult goes, could you explain why? Or tell me more about that. And what would it take to bring that to maybe, or even yes? And so it's a very difficult discussion, and it's a difficult, what can I say, communication skill to learn. And even adults are not brilliant at it, and I would be one, for sure. Because as you know, I'm not perfect. But it's like, it is difficult, and I just wanted to really acknowledge that Manon gave it a go, because that first conversation in that mode is very, very challenging because it's scary. You've never done it before. And so, big well done to Manon. Very proud of you. Okay, so here is the next thing I wanted to give a heads up to, and that's Amritpal, who wrote to me over the weekend, and I didn't have a chance to answer it because I was doing the birthday party stuff. So, first of all, Kihalaji, Amritpal, and here was her question to me. They are moving to British Columbia, which is where I live in Canada, and she wanted to know how they can make ends meet. Now, they both have fairly good jobs, so that's a very good start. And Amritpal, the easiest way I know is something that I learned a long time ago, probably when I was your age. And it's about the discipline that as you put your salary check into the bank, that you put 10% of it into a savings account. Whatever the amount of the check, you just automatically put 10% into a savings account. Now, if you want to really do well, you put 15% in, and then you learn to live on the balance. So you learn to live on 85% of what you take home. Make sense? And then what I do, Amritpal, just so that you understand that, is if I need to buy a luxury item, or if I need to buy, for example, the camera that I now need, it doesn't come out of my day-to-day money. It comes out of my savings account, and that savings account is there for emergency. It's there for unexpected expense, the dishwasher breaks down or something, all those sort of things. Now, it takes a few months to build up, but I would thoroughly recommend that, I'm not sure if you've got a joint bank account or individual ones, and by the way, Amritpal, I really do recommend that you have at least one account that is your own, just for creditworthiness. You'll be amazed how that will come to help you one day. So try and get one account that is yours, even if you have joint accounts, or if you have your husband's account. Definitely have one account that is yours, and that you have sole signing powers on. Very, very important. Okay, so it is as simple as that. So let's sort of look at it in a practical way. Coming to live in British Columbia is a great expense. British Columbia is one of the most expensive places to live in North America, or so they tell me. And that's because it's so beautiful. Most of the time, not this morning, it's sucked in with fog. But overall, it is the most beautiful place to live. It has just about everything. It has good culture, it has ski hills, it has a beautiful, beautiful sailing for anybody who wants it, either sort of harbour sailing, as I call it, or ocean sailing. They're both great here. It just has beautiful, picturesque drives. It is a beautiful, beautiful place to live. There's no doubt about it. You've got to be pretty sick not to enjoy British Columbia overall. However, though, you pay a price today. And so, housing here is very expensive. And my recommendation there, depending on your needs, are probably to take it easy for the first year. In other words, I'd be inclined, depending on where you're both working, of course. I think, oh wait a minute, I think you did say you were going to be living in my neck of the woods. Ah, okay. That means you've got accommodation already sorted out, otherwise you wouldn't know that. So I'm not going to waste your time with it. Okay. So what can I tell you about living in Surrey? It's also expensive. But not as expensive as Vancouver. The good news about it is close to the border, so that's nice for going south, and it's accessible to downtown, especially if you live in North Surrey. I'm in South Surrey, so that makes it less accessible. And just so that other people understand, the difference between the two is about half an hour. In other words, the time I take to commute is the difference between South Surrey and North Surrey. I don't even work in North Surrey. I actually work in Central Surrey, and that takes me half an hour to drive there. Pretty scary, huh? It's a very big town, region, area, whatever. And it's all one town. Really quite good. And it probably is nearly as wide as it is long, not quite, but nearly. So it's a very, very big county. County is what you would call it, I guess. In America. Sorry, it took me a while to get that word out of my American dictionary in my head. And it should have been much easier because I've just been through Scotland County this weekend. So the good news about it is that Surrey is a little bit more affordable, but not a whole lot. Let's be honest about that. I'm not sure if you're going to be living with family or not, and obviously that will affect the costs. And I think the main thing about affordable living is to really be aware of how much you're spending where. And then, as I said, I find that actually dividing up my money makes a whole lot of difference. And there's some months where I go, I realize that the money that I have sitting in my regular bank account has to make do. And if it's not making do, I have to lower my standard of living in some way. And that may be that I buy less groceries or less fancy groceries or whatever. Because that money in my bank account needs to be able to pay for my hydro, that's electricity for you guys up down in the US. We call it hydro here. It has to be able to pay for basically all my utilities, all the extra sort of running expenses of the house, including my mortgage. All those things has to come from that day-to-day money, the 85%. I think there's been an accident up ahead here, so probably expect some sort of delay. So Amritpal, other than that, definitely make sure that you have fun in Surrey or in British Columbia. If you don't have fun in British Columbia, then it's your own fault, because it really is a fun place to live as well, and there's a lot to do, and all within easy driving. I think if I were to give you a piece of advice, and I'd give this piece of advice to almost anybody who's married, I have a very great guy that I know, and he always said to me, I'd say, oh, wait, are you doing anything special this weekend? Oh, and by the way, I hope all the Canadians had a happy Thanksgiving weekend. Sorry, everybody, I meant to mention that at the front end of this. But I'd ask him, where are you going this weekend? And he'd say, I'm going on a Save the Marriage weekend. And I literally, the first time I heard that, I went, oh, I am so sorry to hear that. And he said, what? I said that you need to save your marriage. And he said, no. I go on the Save the Marriage weekend to make sure I don't have that problem in my marriage. And it was his habit that one weekend out of every 4, in other words, one weekend a month, he took his wife away somewhere. Didn't have to be anywhere necessarily very fancy, but he took her away. And they wined and dined, and they walked hand in hand on the beach, and did all those sort of things that they used to do when they were first in love. And because of that, they remained very much in love till the day she died. It was a beautiful love story all through. I don't know if any of you have this one. I've just turned at a traffic light. I had to turn left, and there was a big truck that was going in the opposite direction, and he decided to take control of the road. Sometimes some of these trucks think they own the road. Well, that's what this guy did, and he took a very late turn, which left me sort of hanging in the intersection on the turn of the lights. And I'm just sweating a bit because, you don't want to be doing that. Then I noticed there was a guy behind me. So I don't know if any of you understand this psychology, but it's a case of, oh, I thought I was in trouble, but the guy behind me is in a lot more trouble. I don't know why that made me feel so much better suddenly, but it did. So I'm probably about 5 minutes away from work and happy to be there. I'm sure everybody's got lots of great stories about what they did and how much turkey they ate, and I didn't eat any. It's amazing. So what I will do is sometime in the next week I'll pick up some discounted turkey. But I'll buy a turkey breast or a butterball that is deboned. I love those. Not have all the mess, just have the taste. And I'll do a turkey dinner with stuffing and mashed potatoes and all the bits and pieces that we love. Brussels sprouts. Yum. So have a great day, everybody, or great afternoon, or great evening, depending on when you're listening to this or watching it. I must say that I was amazed how many people watched the first birthday party videos. I had not expected that many people. I don't know where you hide yourselves. You know what I mean? You must all in some way be aware of the DearMamaSal site to be able to have picked up on those videos. And yet we don't see you on the regular videos, that number. So it's really weird to me. Where do you hide? But I do thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed doing them for you. It was fun. And it was really a great time to be had by a lot of people. I mean, it was just really good to see so many people laughing and enjoying themselves, and such a great sense of family. And all credit to the Filipinos for doing family in spades. You know what I mean? When they say family, they mean family. They don't just mean immediate family, they mean family. And as you've heard, I don't have that sort of family. And so it's really weird for me when I watch it. And it's very noisy. And the thing is that in my lifetime, I literally would not have been allowed to make anything like that amount of noise inside a house. And so it really is counterculture, almost. And for those of you who were brought up in Europe, I think you'd understand what I'm talking about. It's just very, very different. And I'm quite certain that when I was that age, I was just as noisy. Why does it seem so much noisier at this age? I don't know. And I'm half deaf. It's not I can even hear it properly, and yet it's still that way. Amazing. But I'm still so glad I went. And it was a really nice trip, and I enjoyed it. And other than my, as I said, my doofus report that I got all the way through the border before I realized I hadn't filled up on gas. That was real doofus stuff. Just like, oh, how can you be so stupid? And it was easy. I was concentrating on getting back across the border before the lineup. The reason for that, of course, is because, I have a limited amount of waiting time for my bladder. So I can't afford to be in a 2-hour lineup. It's one of the joys of getting older. On that very delightful note, with more information than I'm sure most of you need, this is DearMamaSal saying, have an absolutely awesome day. I'm sending you a virtual hug. Amritpal, if you have any more questions on that issue that you think I might be able to help with, just send them along. Shukriya. Okay, this is DearMamaSal saying bye for now.